Good evening and welcome back to The Last Word here on KTN News. Thank you so much for staying with us. We're all about succession politics, and there's a campaign that's gaining momentum against the deputy president and whether or not he should be on the Jubilee ticket come 2022. And the senator who last Sunday stoked those fires, that's Honorable Paul Njoroge, is with us here in studio, nominated senator. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we also have Dunstan Amari and the Kiharu Member of Parliament, Irungu Kangata, as well. With us in studio. So, Senator, let me bring this to you because before we went on break, we had Honorable Kangata refer to you as a mole. Talk to us about why you made the sentiments and bring us up to speed with what your thoughts really are in as far as the Deputy President and his candidature is concerned.
One, thank you for welcoming me. And again, I would also like to say hi to the gentleman here. Yeah, starting with a member of the honorable member from Kiharu. One, I would like to say that it's very unfortunate that any member of Jubilee would call me a mole, simply because of giving a different opinion from what maybe that person has. We have freedom of expression. That is what members of Jubilee who are really trying to fight me have forgotten. And when we got a new constitution, that constitution is very clear that we are entitled to have our own opinion. That is my democratic right.
Yeah.
And also in Bill of Rights, I think that is one of the rights. But one, I would like to also to know from him, why did he say I'm a mole?
And he
Yes,
will
yes,
shortly.
yes,
Hold
I
on.
can,
I'll come back to you because you had given those reasons. But Senator, allow me to pursue that line of thought further. Why is it you do not agree with the main, which appears to be Jubilee position, that the Deputy President should take over come 2022?
One, let me start by explaining where I was coming from.
Yes.
One, we have a campaign which is whereby we want President Uhuru Kenyatta to be elected as the president for the second term come 2017.
Yes.
My main concern is that we are having two concurrent campaigns, one for 2017 and the other one for 2022. Because we have heard it so many times. The Deputy President said talk about that election of 2022. And it was of my opinion that we hold the campaign of 2022 and concentrate much on the campaign of 2017. Why was I saying this? It was through experience. You know, I come from Rift Valley. You know, Kangata comes from Central, where I think they have no problem. They only hear about these problems. You know, in Rift Valley, since 1992, we have always been having problems during elections. It's only 2013, 2012, 2013, when we never experienced that kind of a problem. Now, my fear, where I have a fear, and I think that fear is actually cutting across, let me tell you that, is simply because we are really promising that come 2022, we are going to elect to support William Ruto.
So do you see it as the Deputy President trying to sabotage the 2017 election by him focusing on 2022?
No, that is not what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, when we go to 2017, and definitely Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta will come back as the president, whereby Ruto will be the key person to assist Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to win that seat of 2017. Then, you know, campaign is campaign and elections are elections.
Yes.
This is politics.
Yes.
Suppose it comes to 2022 and then we do not, Deputy President is not elected or is not supported by Central Region, generally as he would expect. what would be the result? That is the fear that I have, that we are promising something which we do not know the repercussion which would be there if it doesn't happen.
Okay. All right, so let's come back then to the matter you raised. Why you're referring to him as a mole? He has a legitimate concern. The people of Rift Valley, he's seen it happen before. He does not want to see that kind of violence by an unmet promise.
Two things. One, I'm referring him as a mole because I know, as a matter of fact, he attended the launch of the presidential bid by Accord principal, that is Mr. Wetangula. I do not know of any other member of parliament from our coalition who attended that launch. He is the only one who attended. And therefore, to me, that confirmed to me this guy must be a mole. Number two, he never became a senator through a democratic process. He maneuvered through courts to come into that position. And therefore, he does not talk on behalf of the Jubilee coalition. Number three, and most importantly, his position is erroneous in the sense that what prejudice will Jubilee suffer if Ruto proceeds to campaign for 2022 now? What prejudice? There will be none prejudice. In any event, what wrong shall we commit by us supporting Ruto 2022? To me, in my own opinion, the relationship between Kikuyus and the Kalenjin has given peace a chance in the Rift Valley. And therefore, when I see a person from the Rift Valley who has no heart at all, who does not mind our people in the diaspora, who does not care the consequences of his utterances, to me, he shows he's a very is a person who does not care surely for so many people who have lost in the competition between Kikuyus and the Kalenjin. And when this coalition brings that peace, he seems very disinterested.
So you strongly
because
criticize
of being a tribal supremacist.
You strongly
That's very unfair.
criticize him, and we saw a statement as well from TNA. The chairman, Johnson Sakaja, national chair, said that you, Senator, have no authority to speak on behalf of TNA, that we are aware of the fact that there are forces within the political landscape of Kenya that are keen on destabilizing and causing a rift within Jubilee, that Mr. Njoroge must desist, and also from talking like this, and from disclose as well whose behalf you're making those remarks. For the avoidance of doubt, Mr. Njoroge and his co-conspirators should be made aware that there is no ambiguity within Jubilee on 2017 and 2022. So I'll come to your response for that, but briefly from you, sir, if then you feel this way about the Honorable Senator, and we've seen the party as well, why aren't we seeing any disciplinary measures taken against him? Because wouldn't that be the next obvious thing to do to show how serious of a fault he has fallen with the party?
In my own opinion, a measure against him must be prompted, or it must be moved by a member. And therefore, tomorrow, I'll be writing a letter to our party stating that indeed there is a certain senator who is proposing or pronouncing things which go against the agenda of the Jubilee, and therefore asking the party to take disciplinary action against him. And therefore, tomorrow, personally, I'll be doing that letter for him to be disciplined.
All right, I'll come to you shortly. Let's hear from Omari. You've heard from both sides. What are you making of this?
The question I'm raising, Senator has been called a mole. My learned colleague has said Jubilee or TNA has said they'll support the DP William Ruto. We are students of history and we understand what is happening. William Ruto did a tremendous job for the deputy president. Is it the same thing that one Raila Odinga did for one Kibaki? What happened after that? Did that promise hold water? 2, 2013, heading 2012 to 2013, did we see a circus of one William Musalia Mudavadi being told that he was supposed to be the candidate? He was disowned. What I'm saying, Sophia, politics, 1 year, 8 months is a very long duration. We have not reached 2017. 2022 is too far a mirage. That is 7 years from now. What now is happening is the internal implosion of parties that are not based on ideology. CORD has been having similar challenges with the Namwambas and the others. Is it now that this is the time of Jubilee to start feeling the heat from within? So this is what they call the democratic aspect of the political class. But
Okay.
in my own view, what is the opinion of these suckers to the citizens on the street? Probably very many of them will be supporting him. Probably.
Okay.
Probably very many of them will be supporting Kangata here.
All right.
Time will tell.
So, nominated Senator, there are those then who would argue, by virtue of the fact that politics in Kenya, one day is such a long time for things to change,
So
that
much.
you are claiming to protect Kenyans from a problem they don't even face.
One, can I respond to what my friend here said, Bwana Kangata? I think I agree with him because I know they are working very hard. I've come from another studio, which I don't need to name here, and with another colleague of his, Kimani Ichung'wah, who really was talking the same. It is a coaching thing that has already been drafted and distributed to them. I mean, to be presented to all media houses. I want to remind Kangata that
What is it they've been coached to present to media houses?
when they walk into the media houses, that is the same story which I had.
That they'll take action against you or
That
what?
they'll take action against me.
Okay.
He even went further and told me that I'll never live to see a seat again in Kenya. It's very the most unfortunate thing. I thought we have been saying we are in a democratic party, whereby freedom of expression is not supposed to be curtailed. That is one. Two, Kangata should realize that I was among the top 100 in Jubilee who are really campaigning during those days. Because among the people who presented the manifesto, I was among the people who presented manifesto in that dais. Probably he was not there. So one, to say that I came through the back door, one, that is very wrong. There was a system of election petition. And what happened in the party list, which was presented actually to the IBC by TNA, after actually President Kenyatta decided that I would be among the nominated, I was shortchanged by the IBC. And that is why I went to court. That is how I won. I never came behind the back door. It is their imagination, and I know they are working hard. Some have even tried to lie to the president that I'm really working for his downfall, which is not true. I'm only trying to talk of the repercussion which would be there in 2022.
But sir, aren't political arrangements, gentlemen agreements, coalition agreements, parties a normal thing? Because what you're saying is those things shouldn't happen, that we should go a day at a time, and because of saying that we've seen violence in the past and we shouldn't have arrangements that could potentially, because things change. We have seen people that were in opposite sides come together, those who were together go separate sides, so a lot could happen to 2022. So really what many would wonder is your real concern at this point.
What I said, and I think that is my opinion.
Yeah.
Remember, this is not even an opinion from the party.
Yes, sir.
It is not the president's opinion. It is my opinion, my personal opinion, and I live with that because that is how I believe it should go. I am saying that 2017, Deputy President and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta should go for the election, whereby we shall elect them. Definitely they will come back. Let me assure you that. Whether I'll be there, whether I'll be kicked out or not, I know they'll come back.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, instead of us having the two concurrently, because see, even in the Constitution, it does not allow campaigns to be started before the time which is actually kept by the Constitution. But here comes now, we are here with the 2017 campaign, while again campaigning for 2022.
But he argues that you suffer no prejudice as a party because it's still a campaign for this coalition, so it's still the numbers to remain within.
But madam, let me tell you, for sure, take it from me, it has never happened before. This is the first election whereby we'll be holding two concurrent campaigns.
Okay.
Now, two things. First and foremost, shall we have a repeat of the Raila Odinga, Musalia Mudavadi scenario where they were expecting to be voted by the Kikuyus, but they were not voted for? I doubt, and I can tell you why. One, the deputy president is not operating using the paradigm shift or the paradigm arrangement that was being relied upon by those two people. Those two gentlemen were people who were expecting to be told Tosha by the Kikuyu kingpin. After that, Kikuyu kingpin retires. But I have never known of such kind of an arrangement when it comes to politics. In politics, you work hard. So, as opposed to those two gentlemen, the deputy president is doing strategic intervention to ensure Kikuyu support him. How? He is coming to our constituencies. He is doing harambees. He is helping us to obtain certain goodies which are so fundamental, for instance, to our re-elections, that even Uhuru Kenyatta is not doing them. For instance, in my constituency, he came, he has maneuvered a certain road to be made, which road since independence has never been made, and therefore, personally, from where I sit, I can die for that, such kind of a leader. And therefore, when you compare a person like Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, Raila Odinga, they never stepped in Kikuyu land even a single day, even after ascending to political power. So therefore, this is a guy who we shall own. He will not be a Kalenjin per se. He will be our president because we have a personal stake in him ascending to political power. That's number one. Number two, this is a guy who is guaranteeing us peace in Rift Valley. Of course, not directly. He's not the one who, if at all we don't support him, he's not the one who is going to instigate. But we all know and the political undertones of such kind of a divorce. And finally, and most importantly, my colleague here belongs to the school of thought which believes that Kikuyu should rule this country forever and ever. We have been given opportunity as Kikuyus to demolish such kind of a narrative. And I feel so bad. It pains me to find my colleague here uttering things which just show that he belongs to the tribe of Kukuns, which believe only one tribe should rule this country. It is wrong, and therefore we feel we must endeavor, by the way, to ensure this person doesn't ever return to parliament.
All right, and I'll come to you, sir, for the last word. Let's get your last word because our time is up. We only have 1 minute. So
my last word is that the deputy president is a fighter. He's a student of history who has seen very many deputies and vice presidents collapse midway. He has put systems in place that will guarantee and safeguard his ascent to power. Senator Njoroge's utterances makes the two even now come closer. Remember, the ICC collapsed. They had nothing in common. Now that there is a possibility, I heard it from Busia, now the court is trying to make fun out of it. There's a possibility of Jubilee coming more closer to form a formidable force that will counter court. My take is that let Senator's opinion be respected, let Honorable Kangata's opinion be respected, let the Kenyans live in peace because the country is bigger than TNA and URP.
All right. Senator.
Yeah, one I've had a very different version from Honorable Kangata to what Kimani Ichung'wah was saying, because they have been saying that I've been paid by Gideon Moi. Those utterances have been there. One, I want to tell them, I earn like them. I'm on salary. That is what they're forgetting. And I'm entitled, I'm repeating again, I'm entitled to my own expression because I have that freedom. And that does not mean that I hate Ruto. What I'm saying, I'm talking from experience. And what is happening on the ground? I'll tell you this. 6 years is not very far. Take it from me. We're having elections next year. Then from there, 2022 will come like tomorrow. And let me tell you, it will not be a walkover. And I think if William Ruto would be keen enough, I think he would really appreciate what I'm saying, because that would make him add more effort and put his things together in order for him to work things right from that end.
There was a proposed law that was a law proposing that communities that have held the presidency should go for, say, 30 years, without running for office. Is that something you'd support?
I don't believe that because everybody, you know, people don't run as communities. That's what we are forgetting. And the other thing is, I've never said that I want a Kikuyu to run for presidency.
Because that's what he's accused you of.
In 2022.
All
It's
right.
only that he doesn't know. I mean, he has not heard well what I've been saying. I said any other person, because when they are talking about Gideon Moi, I think they are alleging that I'm really supporting Gideon Moi for president in 2022. Now, here comes again, he's saying that I want the presidency to be a Kikuyu. Who can really, I mean, how do you expect that I would go through that line, on that line, of even dreaming of a Kikuyu becoming the president in 2022? But then again,
What if a Kikuyu becomes a president in 2022?
but then again, that is where I'm going. I'm going to right now, because what people are forgetting, it is not the tribe which really contests. It is an individual.
So then why do you have a problem with this individual continuing to express his interest and others supporting that interest for 2022 if it's not about the tribe? Because you're saying it will have implication on the tribe and the tribe getting into violence with others.
I think you're not getting what I'm saying.
Okay.
My point is, the two are tied. Get me right. Because the idea here is Ruto to support President Uhuru in 2017.
Okay.
But then again, Kikuyus to support Ruto in 2022. Yeah? I think let's share this together, because a day will come when we'll also have to remember of all this. Suppose, you know, as he said, 6 years is too much for politics.
Right.
And you'd be expecting that things will remain the same. But there would come a time that things might change.
So finally, would you support Ruto 2022?
Personally?
Yes.
Personally?
Yes.
I would vote for him.
You would vote for him?
Senator, let me out of curiosity, I'm a Kisi. Where do we feature? Where does Anjem feature? Where does Anel Moro feature? Where does Garba feature? I'm not very comfortable with that talk of communities by name.
Right.
Let us deal with this nation as citizens of this nation.
You're right.
Let us not look at
You're right.
Let us not look at amalgamation of tribes for the sake of peace. Peace shall be peace when it is all inclusive of 42 communities. And I think that is what the president has always preached, that it is one nation, one country. So these people who are trying to drive tribal politics have no space in this country.
And that is a good way to wrap up the show tonight. But just for clarification before we go, Honorable Kangata, you say you will tomorrow be writing a letter seeking to have the nomination of the senator revoked.
Yes, and my final point is only this one. And I want to address the Deputy President that Kikuyu supremacists who believe in Kikuyism will indeed try to counter your ascendancy to power. The only best check against such characters is to ensure young Kikuyus are sent into political positions who don't have that notion or the hangover that it's only a Kikuyu can rule this country.
All right. Honorable Irungu Kangata, who's member of Parliament Kiharu. We also had with us Dan Stanomari, a political analyst, and Honorable Paul Njoroge, who's a nominated senator. We thank you all for being with us on The Last Word. We had asked a question on Twitter, Paul, we're having run there, whether you think the anti-22 Ruto narrative will break the Jubilee coalition. 40% of you say yes. 41% say no, and 19% say maybe. So 19% they're watching to see how things will unfold, but at least almost half and half saying yes, it could break the coalition, others disagreeing. Of course, the conversation will continue to follow for you in coming days. Thank you so much for watching The Last Word. On behalf of all that made the show possible, we wish you a good night, and may God bless you.